Good morning everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm in woodland just below Chapel Stile. I believe the wood is called Sawrey wood, S-A-W-R-E-Y, apostrophe S, if you want to be specific. And in truth, today is not an ideal day for any kind of outdoor photography. Wall-to-wall blue skies, although I can see some fluffy clouds over there, but you know, generally wall-to-wall blue skies, bright sunshine and 20 degrees. Now, I've already made some videos about what to do on a sunshiny day, and broadly on a day like today, I would either go and seek out details, or I would look for items that are backlit, or maybe I'd even think about a bit of infrared. If I'd brought my infrared filter with me, then that would have been really useful. But there we go, never mind. So today's outing is just it's a recce. I've seen this woodland before. I think it was on a Nigel Danson video. Whether it's this particular wood or one of the other ones that's close by, I honestly don't know. But I'm going to go and have a mooch around anyway. And the reason for doing this is to have an explore before we get to autumn, so that I've got some idea of the potential before we get to autumn. And also to consider it as a workshop location for when I run my autumn colours workshop in November. Now, it might not be a workshop location I use this year, it might be next year, doesn't really matter. It's an opportunity to go and have a look, to see what's there, you know, how steep is it, how easy is it to navigate. I mean, at the moment it's nice and dry, so, you know, in the back of my mind, all right, so let's say it's soaking wet. You know, is it still relatively straightforward? Am I going to put my participants in jeopardy by coming up here? The woodland all around me is just full of bright highlights and deep shadows. So, to be perfectly honest with you, any chance for photography is slim at best. But like I said, that's not really the point. The point is to go and take a look. Now, I know lots of people that will go and take a look at things like this, and they'll do it in a car or on a bike, or they'll just, you know, frog march their way through the location. Me personally, I prefer to take it a lot more leisurely, and absorb the place, take the opportunities to take a look around, to stop and observe. As a photographer that's driven emotionally, I like to sort of absorb the place and get a sense of what's going on around me, because what I will always try and do is include that in my final image, or images if I possibly can. And you can't do that by, you know, rushing up a steep hill, puffing and panting, and, you know, getting to the top in a ball of sweat. You need to take your time. And yeah, okay, so I've got a little bit warm coming up here, but you know, I'm not puffing and panting. I am really taking my time and really trying to make an honest assessment as to whether this location would really work as a workshop location, but also, is it somewhere worth coming back to in the autumn? Now, as I've been stood here talking to you, although I said to you, you know, these conditions are not ideal for landscape photography, I've seen a backlit tree right in front of me, right behind you, that looks really quite interesting. So I'm now going to contradict myself and turn around and look at that tree over there. So let me reposition the camera and spin it round. Yeah, I think that's quite a I was going to say a strong square. I'm not sure. Let me turn it round. So I've swapped to my Olympus OMD EM1 Mark III to do this piece, because to try and have the Osmo pointing at the back of the camera in this bright light, it was just next to impossible. I just got a glare. So you'll have noticed in the B-roll hopefully three things. So one, I attached a polarizer to the front of the lens, and what I'm trying to do with that is to try and reduce the glare off the items that are in the foreground. I've also put the sunshade on, because what I don't want is the sun shining on the front of the lens. In fact, as I've been stood here talking, it's moved. And yeah, I think there is a bit of sunlight or sun flare on the lens now. So when I take my image, I'm going to have to put my hand across the front of the lens just to shield it from the sun, obviously very carefully. And then the third thing was I raised the center column. Now I don't do that very often, because raising the center column actually produces, or introduces I should say, a certain amount of instability. But there's not a breath of wind here today, and I'm taking an educated gamble, because what I'm trying to do is limit the amount of sky that's in the top of the frame, because the sky is just bright pale blue. It's horrific. For the purposes of this image, it's horrific anyway. Now raising the center column means that I can actually look down slightly on the scene. Now I can't raise it too much, because otherwise I can't look through the viewfinder, but hey, that's the way it is. Now I'm going for a square composition, so it's sort of, hang on, let's get the viewing aid out, because that's probably the better way of doing it. So here is my viewing aid. You've all seen this before in a previous video. Right, so let's bring the frame towards me. Now I'm not going to get everything in, because it's a 16:9 frame, but roughly I'm trying to just do the left and right hand sides. Roughly my frame is sort of there. It's a bit difficult to handhold, but what I'm trying to do is include this tree there, because then that's my left hand bookend, and I'm also just trying to include this tree here, but exclude trees number 2 and number 3. So just that one there on its own, and then not have these two, so that I have a reasonably balanced composition. Now, as you can see, these ferns down here, they're glowing quite a bit, so just move the polarizer around. There you go. Oof, now they're even brighter, but as I move it around, you can see the glare is reduced quite significantly. And all right, it's not the world's most stellar image, I know that, and it's not going to win any competitions. It's not the point. The point is to come out and to find compositions that might work in the autumn. So imagine that scene, you know, backlit with beautiful autumn colour. I think it would look absolutely stupendous. Time will tell, I guess. Also, as a summary of my day today on this particular outing, it's a good metaphor. It's a good summary. It is bright sunlight creating shapes and textures, mostly shapes, backlit shapes. So as I'm stood here now squinting slightly into the sun, that is a summary of what it's like to stand here and look around me in this wood. So yeah, it works. Like I say, it's not going to win any competitions, but I like it. I like it quite a lot, actually. So yeah, that's my image from this particular outing. This is my first image from this particular outing, so I'm going to continue to wander around, and I'm going to continue to see what else I can find. If any of those images from me wandering off along the side of this hill have worked, I'll have shared them already. And like I say, none of them are going to win competitions. What I'm trying to do is, as I say, explore, but my photographic rationale, for want of a better phrase, is to always try and create a reaction to where I am and what is actually going on. So hopefully all of the images do actually reflect kind of what you can see all around me on this footage. If any of the images really worked, really didn't work, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Now I'm going to wrap this video up here, and I'm going to keep wandering. There's another wood a little bit further down, so I'm going to go take a quick look at that, and then I'm going to retrace my steps. Now going back where I came is really very important, because if you only look in one direction when you go somewhere, you miss the fact that if you turn round, objects and items will look completely different from the opposing angle. And of course the sun is now a lot higher in the sky, so different opportunities may present themselves. So I'm going to go and have a look at this wood, and then I'm going to gently womble back to the car and having a look as I go. But I hope this has been interesting. I hope you've managed to get something from it. If you got this far, thank you very much indeed for watching. If you like the video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help the channel massively. And if you're not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. And if you hit the bell button alongside and select the option all, then you'll get notified as to when I upload new content, which will be roughly every 2 weeks. So until the next one, enjoy the sunshine, and I shall see you soon. Take care, stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.